Happy Farmin' FriYay to you. So glad that you're here. I'm Devin O'Day, and we're going to go all over the place. I mean, we're going to talk about some real estate investments. A young couple, they're realtors here in Middle Tennessee, and they've done some renovating to a property. And I'd love for you to see some of the things that they decided need to be renovated. Maybe you're looking at some investment property. This is a show for you. Plus, we're going to do the farming as a family tradition. We love talking about that. But first, we're going to talk about a New Year's resolution to become one of the unsmokables.
Hey everybody, we are Kyle and Casey, and you've probably seen some of our videos about different cities in Middle Tennessee, but we're gonna maybe do something a little bit different. We just picked up 2 investment properties, both of which need extensive amounts of work, and this is actually how Casey and I got our start in real estate. We used to buy houses that needed a little bit of TLC, and we would go in, roll up our sleeves, and get the work done. And by that I mean I would roll up my sleeves, she would point me in the right direction and make sure that it got done.
That is very true.
But we actually have our entire family here, including our dog, Olivia. Hi, Livy. How are you?
Come on.
Yes, come here. Come here.
Come on.
But my mother-in-law's here. All 4 of our kids are here, and we're just starting kind of day one of doing a little bit of demo. I'm running some electrical, and we just wanted to walk through the house and tell you kind of what we got planned.
So here we go. So the home is actually not a super modern feel, so we're just going to continue with the theme of the home. That way we don't have to spend too much money in redoing everything.
Hello.
Peekaboo!
So this is kind of a funny room. It's not really funny. It's just
what is this room? I don't know if this room is an office. I don't know if it's sitting room.
I think it's an office. I think we make this an office room.
I think we should TBD and see how it all turns out.
Okay. There's no lights in here, so I gotta take off of the electrical outlets and put, here's a light switch. See? Now it's on.
Ah.
So it's the top switches over here. So I'm gonna have to cut into drywall and run it up there to take my can lights. So that we can get
4 can lights.
So that it'll go off the switch. So I know you love wallpaper, but this has gotta go.
I get it.
It's gotta go. What is that? Is it like a...
It's paisley. Yeah, it's definitely paisley.
I thought it was a turkey.
It's not a turkey.
Just for a second, I thought it was a turkey.
No.
So this is a bit of a mess right now, but this one is probably going to be one of my favorite transformations in the house.
Yeah.
So there was one of those big, it was actually the light, follow me in here, Cliff. This guy right here was suspended up there, and it had those big, like, neon lights, not neon lights, whatever you call those things.
Fluorescents?
Anyway, fluorescent, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we decided to add these cans. They're my favorite thing to do, the cans. Get them on Amazon in a 12-pack, and they're very thin, you can see, and they're thinner than the drywall. So even if you hit a stud, you can put it up there, you pop these springs in, and it suctions to the drywall. And it comes with a junction box, so you don't have to have like a remodel can or anything. You just put your wires in. You can daisy chain them. So like this switch was going there. I ran it back here, found it there, went to this light, and then just ran electrical to all 4, and then to the one right above in the entryway. And yeah, just a quick, easy thing. I'd say in materials and everything, like doing that was less than $50.
We're leaving all the cabinets. We are gonna replace the appliances just because they're a little bit old, but
and they don't work.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so upstairs, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, and this is gonna look a lot different, but we really don't have to do a ton of work.
Yep.
There's a shower right there that's in rough shape.
Yeah.
And mold all through it. So we're gonna take that out, cap off all the plumbing, and we're gonna make that like kind of floating shelves in there. Keep the light in there.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna take this tub, rip the tub out, and put one of those prefab 48-inch pans. That's gonna go, I'd say about right here, that way. We're gonna take this wall, and of course it'll go in a little bit, take it up 8 feet, and we're gonna build a shower, kind of a shower into this spot. Do away with the tub. Toilet's still gonna be here. Add some can lights, add a fan for ventilation, new vanity, new flooring.
So there's a lot left to be desired in this room, but the space is really good and it is very moody. So if you want to set the mood.
Heyo.
We're so pumped. Let's do this.
Oh.
Check out the Wallace Group. This husband and wife team, not only are they doing some investment properties, but they can help you find a home and that can help you anywhere in Middle Tennessee. I just love what they do. I love what they stand for. It's time for our motivational moment. And for that, we go to my friend Tammi Arender, who covers some amazing stories. And this is part of a 3-part series. So far, it's 3 parts that she has done. She just got back from Kenya as a correspondent for RFD, discussing farming across the world.
So 410 bridge comes from the Bible verse 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 10 that talks about how each and every one of us has a gift from God, and we need to use that gift to administer God's grace to others.
Traveling to these very rural areas and communities in East Africa was eye-opening. It's a standard of living that we in America cannot wrap our heads around. Rocky and crater-filled dirt roads to get you from one village to the next. Each day, you see cattle, goats, and sheep and their shepherds making the treacherous trek to the nearest water. And with the country's unique and arid climate and environmental challenges, well, it creates an incredible strain on these people to have a successful farming operation. And that's where 410 Bridge comes in with their Foundations for Farming program.
When you go into a community that is not implementing a sustainable model, what you find are people who have lost their dignity, have lost their purpose, and are not walking in freedom.
Foundations for Farming has truly transformed the lives of many of those in Kenya.
Yeah, beforehand she had a very hard time, but since she went for empowerment in under 410, she is now very happy.
Even some of the smallest plots can provide food for their own family and also an abundance to sell at their local market. By foot or motorcycle is the most common mode of transportation, neither conducive to carrying large amounts of fruits and vegetables.
The challenging part is the transportation, if we can remember them in prayers, because sometimes to transport, like is have a vision of having like a motorbike or something like a pickup in the future.
410 Bridge also partners with area schools to teach classes not only on farming, but on how to run a business. Young Esther is using this old-fashioned hand crank mill to turn maize, which we call corn, into flour. There's also a 410 Bridge sponsorship program where people in the U.S. purchase a sheep or a goat for a young person to care for. That has an incredible return for the family.
So with this kind of livestock, she will be able to go to university. But without it, she must stay, hang around, get married earlier, which will not help the family improve economically.
If it was not for the 410 Bridge, I would not have managed to go to the secondary school, or I will just be loitering around finding for minor jobs.
So the Foundations for Farming program isn't just about agricultural projects. It's about relationships. Relationships with those in the community and a relationship with Christ.
When I entered in 410 Bridge, I feel that I'm growing spiritually, and that is what I preach to the parents, to the kids, and also to show them the way to focus and know what God can do in their lives.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Don't those look delicious? Burger Republic is located in Mount Juliet, Murfreesboro, and 2 Nashville locations, one in Lenox Village and one at Pine Street Flats. Burger Republic, part of our family of great eats here in Middle Tennessee.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Are absolutely the best gift that you could give any kid. It opens up their love of reading. It opens them up to travel and learning in a way that nothing else can. And when people say, oh, kids want to see everything electronic now, it's not true. Curling up with a good book, especially when mom or dad or Aunt Dootsy is reading to them, it's the coolest thing ever. And we're going to meet a singer-songwriter, performer, a former pageant winner, a gorgeous lady who said, I want to share a really neat story that empowers kids. Meghan Shanley joins us now. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful. And as an author myself, I first salute you that you've got a brand new book coming out this week.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me on. We can use all the promotional help we can get. So I appreciate you so much.
Well, there's a little character that is just as cute as it can be. And we're going to meet this little character named Vincent.
There he is.
Tell us a little bit about Vincent.
So Vincent is a young violin who lives in the orchestra. And Vincent's having a tough time because he's constantly comparing himself to the other instruments in the orchestra. And so he doesn't feel like he's as important as Billy the bass because the bass is bigger and Vincent's really little. And he doesn't feel like he's as pretty as Tammi the trumpet because she's nice and bright and shiny and he's just made of wood. So he compares himself and doesn't feel so good about himself because he assumes that all those characters have easier lives because of the things that he sees. Sounds a bit familiar, right? With social media these days.
Really, I was just thinking how kids now have got a whole different thing to live up to than we do.
Oh yeah, it really is. It's a whole nother level. So as the story progresses, Vincent goes and has conversations with each of these friends that he is comparing himself to, and he finds out that they each have challenges too. So Billy, who's a bass, can't always fit into every car because he's so big. And so sometimes he gets left behind. And then there's Tammi. She hates the fact that she has to go home every night and get shined up because that's just what their family has to do. They have to stay bright and shiny. And she just wants to go out and get dirty and play with friends. So he's kind of surprised because once he takes the time to talk to them, he's like, oh my gosh, you guys have challenges too. And I don't know that I'd want your challenges. And so it's almost a trifold message in this book. It's a book about learning and helping kids to learn how to appreciate each and every gift that they were uniquely gifted with and given, and as well as the gifts that others were given. And so not to compare themselves and try and be just like other people. It's also a book about not assuming things about people until you just sit down and have a conversation and find out what their truth is and what their challenges are. And then
Beautiful.
As a singer, of course, I just love the fact that it's all tied into music because music is my heart. It's what I've been doing for 20 years full time, and music changes people's lives and children especially. So it's definitely a very huge passion project for me, and I'm so excited to share it with the world.
Well, the book is beautiful and it comes out this week. You can find out more at vincentplayshis.com. And of course, Meghan, let's talk a little bit about you, because that comparison, pageant winner to pageant winner. Pageants have wonderful things for little girls because not every little girl gets a chance at scholarships and things like that the way a lot of guys do. And so it helped me in going to college and you as well. What was the title that you carried?
So I was Miss Virginia, and I competed at Miss America. We were actually there, my year, we were there when 9/11 happened. So it was a very, very interesting experience to be there, especially that year. But like you said, you know, I was the youngest of 3 girls in my family. I came from a Navy household, had a wonderful childhood, but there wasn't a ton of money for me to go to the schools that I wanted.
Absolutely.
So Miss Virginia and the Miss America organization was a huge blessing to me because in one night, all of my student loans were paid off on that stage. So I know, and I have friends that are still paying their loans off. So, you know, that point is not lost on me, and really, really grateful to that. That was a blessing in my life. It allowed me to move to Nashville to pursue my music career debt-free. So that, you know, and what you said, to follow up with what you said, it just set me on a road that was steps ahead of people as far as entering the job market with interview skills. And I mean, I could talk for days about all the wonderful things that it's brought to my life. So very, very grateful for that experience.
Hallelujah. I'm so glad to hear that, because I had a very similar thing in the pageant system, and mine was with the teen pageants, and the scholarship aspect and things like that, and the training and what it teaches you and how to communicate. It's really huge. And I always say that everybody, it's easy to poke fun at pageants, but I will guarantee you that 100% of the people who are making fun weren't in them.
Right. You know, and it's interesting for me because I grew up on a softball field. I started playing baseball at the age of 5, and I cried the day that my parents made me switch to softball because I was afraid it was a girl's sport. So I spent 15 years in the sports world. And then I made this kind of, you know, right turn into a situation. I didn't even know I could sing until I was 17. And the reason I started singing was that I needed a talent to compete in the pageant. My sister had done one, and it wasn't for her. It's not for everybody being on stage in front of people. But I was in the audience that night, and I was like, this looks really fun, and it's scholarship. So I stumbled upon music, and it's so funny because it just started as a means to an end, and then I just fell in love with it. And it became very clear to me that was the road I was supposed to walk down. So so it's interesting because I came at it like I didn't do, lots of childhood pageants or things. So I came at it from a different perspective. And so, it was interesting to kind of learn that whole community and that whole atmosphere. But yeah, it is, when you have people to keep you grounded in your life, there is nothing but benefits of this system to just set you apart, and ahead in life, I'll say.
I love it. Well, do we look forward to some music to coincide with some of your children's books? Because this is part of a series. Yes. Vincent Plays His Part is just part of a series. So, okay, I'm waiting for the music to come alongside.
I've got lots of big goals and dreams with this. I feel like the sky's the limit. The biggest thing right now is I'm creating a school program that's going to go along with the book. So my dream is to go into schools and do about a 45-minute presentation where I read the story and I talk about some of the principles in the book. And in the back of the book, I've included a conversation starter page. So it's got about 5 or 6 questions that is intended for a parent or a teacher to say, well, what did you think about Vincent's story? And there's some questions that might help a child to open up and discuss maybe some tough times they're going through, or at least help them figure out how to work through their emotions. So yeah, we're going to be taking bookings for me to do some live author visits in schools. So, and my goal with that is to bring in a couple of the instruments that are in the book, so that kids can see these instruments and get excited about music and really hear what they all sound like. So that's the first step for music to be incorporated. But Devin, I'm gonna work on a soundtrack of some sort. Yes. Oh yes. So I mean, I even want to do like a live stage performance with some of the characters, and so my brain is full of ideas.
I love it. And I know that it's a line from a song, but the children are our future. And I'm so glad that you are investing your talent and your time in them. Vincent Plays His Part comes out this week. Where can people get the book?
So, well, this Saturday, I'm going to be at Shiloh Music Store in Mount Juliet.
That's my place. I love that place. What time?
I'll be there from 11 to 1. And I'll be signing books and I'll be reading to the kids that come out. And so would love to meet you in person out there. Otherwise, I am selling the book from the website, which is vincentplayshispart.com. So you can order a book. You can put in the notes if you'd like it signed to somebody specifically. They make great Christmas presents. Just saying.
Absolutely. Now, when it came down, last question, doing the pictures are just beautiful, and he has such a beautiful personality. You can just see he really has a great personality. Who did you enlist in? Are you the artist, or did someone else?
Oh, no. That is one thing God did not give to me, was the ability to draw or anything like that. So Joe Huffman has been one of the biggest blessings of this entire project. I found Joe online and was just kind of searching for the right illustrator. And I did some calls with illustrators. And the first call with him was like magic. I knew he was the one that needed to work with me on this, because he invested in the message behind the book. It wasn't just a job for him to draw some pictures. And Joe has the patience of Job. Because this was my first book. So I had a lot of learning curves. And he was just wonderful. We actually worked on this project for a year, and he was on the other side of the country. So we did all these Zoom calls, and it definitely grew from the initial idea. And just between the two of us kind of bouncing ideas back and forth, he brought these characters to life in a way I honestly could have never expected. And so
just lovely. It's just absolutely lovely.
I'll show you one. I've got to show you one of my favorites here. is, I mean, and when you buy the book and you really, really dig into some of the details, I'm not sure if you can see.
Okay, let me
see. So this guy's the big bass drum, and I'm not sure if you can see his,
yes.
his little face. He's just waiting for one time to bang on the drum. And then these two little drum brothers here, he's just done such a great job to bring in so much personality. And so, there is so much material there for the next couple of books that will be written around lessons that kids just need to be reminded of. And this first one is don't compare yourself.
Well, I encourage everybody to be at Shiloh Music Store, and it's Saturday
from 11 to 1. And Perfect. I'll be visiting the Fanny Battle Day home to read to the kids tomorrow. So I'm really excited to take this message and spread it, around the world, around the country, around the world, however far this message can go. I want to take that.
I am so grateful that you're doing it. God bless you in your path. And thank you for sharing your time with us today, Megan. I hope I could get to see you on Saturday.
Yes, please.
Shiloh is wonderful, and they are located in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, Devin.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now. A lot of folks hiring these days. If you pull up to any place to get food, you know that everybody is hiring. Plus, there are some wonderful organizations that are out saying, hey, we've got job openings. We've got job openings. If you watched Devin's Table on Sunday, you might get to see some folks who are hiring as well. I'm just saying IBEW has a lead on some wonderful jobs that have training. Then you get paid to learn at IBEW. If you would like to learn a trade schools are a great place to learn something that you get paid for almost immediately. Can't say enough good things about the trade schools in Middle Tennessee. You guys be safe. I tell you that every day. And you guys check in with us, Elizabeth and Johnny V and Steve and Candy and Catherine. And I mean, just you guys, you know who you are. And I'm so glad that you're here. I love when you weigh in on the conversation and you're part of what we do each and every day. I'm grateful to you. I'm glad that you share. I'm glad that you follow along, and I'm glad that you share our story with everybody that you see. Be kind to each other, which you already are. And most of all, know that you're loved, because I do love you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Happy Farmin' FriYay.
We are home. We are family. We are things to do and place to see. Mom and pops, local grown, small business Saturdays. We are Main Street, Main Street, Main Street. We are your Main Street today.